Good morning, all of you. It's lovely to see you on this rather chilly Monday. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow practice today and to really get our energy, our heat building in the body. Do not worry, we're not going to go too through the paces, as it were, at all. But we are going to be focusing our awareness down in the core. And that in itself helps to generate warmth into the body. Also using our breath to kind of fan that heat, to really cultivate and build that inner reserve of energy as we move. So that's where we're going this morning, to get the energy flowing. And that in itself brings more vitality, helps to cultivate vitality in the body. So we'll bring hands down to the lap. We've got one palm on top of the other. You can connect your thumbs there at the lap. Now just let your eyes shut when you're ready. Now breathing in, let your palms lift to the heart. Then breathing out, turn the palms down, and as if you're pressing the air down with the palms, breathe out and the palms will sink. Breathing in, your palms will lift. And breathing out, push the air back down. We carry on doing that for a couple of more moments. And now start to listen to the ratio of your breath, inhalation to exhalation. And I'd like you to try and invite that ratio into something of balance. So something approaching 1 to 1. So as much as you're breathing in, you're breathing out. You may like to do this with a count, or else you can just do it approximately. As you listen, feel the breath. And in this way, bringing your breath into balance. And also helping to anchor the mind into the body and the very feeling, sensation of breath. We will come into the final rounds. And doing one more. Letting your eyes open and still letting your palms float to the heart, and then easing them back down again from the heart. And just keep that rhythm of the palms lifting up to heart and then releasing back down again. Now on your next in-breath, your palms will float to the heart, but then we're going to reach them up above the head. So breathe in, palms to the heart. Keep lengthening out into the in-breath, stretch the arms out, and breathing out, we're going to bow the arms forward, down to touch the earth. Breathing in, start to scoot back up. Lifting up, reaching up. And breathing out. Lightly folding forwards. Palms back down to the earth. Come into another couple of rounds here. And one more. Keep going for just one more. Just check you're all on mute. As I do so, keep going, keep going. There we are, that's better. And we'll do one more together. And then coming back to your center line and now stretching out the legs. Now reaching forward down towards your feet, breathe out, and then breathe in, slide your hands back out. Now we're looking to hold through the practice today that real rhythmic, steady flow of breath. And also approximately keeping the breath balanced. So keeping both sides of the breath in that ratio of 1 to 1. So we'll just do a few rounds of breath here, moving in and out of forward fold. Nice full Ujjayi breaths. And we're coming into one more. Bending your right knee now in towards your chest and interlace that right thigh with the hands. Now draw the right knee in as much as you can, so there is a sense of resistance in doing so within the core. And now holding the right knee there, just taking a few conscious breaths down into the belly. No rush through the breath. Breathe out and lengthen out the right leg and let it float down. We'll come straight away onto the left side. So just a breath also to pull this left knee in, and again sitting as tall as you can, drawing the left knee up and into the chest as much as you can. Anchor down into your sit bones. And we'll then all come into that ratio of breath. Breathing fully, mindfully down into the belly. Which in itself is quite a challenge, just to hold the shape, the frame of the body, and still keep that richness of the breath when there is a little bit resistance within the body. One more breath. And then breathing out, stretching out the left leg, and it's coming back down. So we're going to take the arms now over to the right-hand side. Now sit as tall as you can here, and then guide yourself into the twist towards the right. Now, although your hands aren't stretching out the same distance here, still keep that sense of trying to reach out, both of them the same distance. And we'll then swing the arms over to the left-hand side, wherever they want to arrive. That's the place for them. Now again, sit as tall as you can, making sure that the spine doesn't want to, drop to one side. Anchor down into your sit bones and then coming into the twist. And as before, as if you're trying to reach both hands out to an equal distance. And arriving back to a center line. Now we're sitting in Dandasana now, the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Roll your shoulders round and back just a couple of times to loosen up the shoulder blades. As much as you can, anchoring the backs of the legs down to the floor. And then we're just pausing, hands perched on the knees. And now you're lifting up the spine, creating as much space as you can between each of the vertebrae. Like you're opening up the rungs of a ladder to create length. Now a few rounds of breath now down into the belly. And we're coming back to bending the right knee again, left leg still stretched out, the toes are flexed up to the ceiling on the left foot. Now keep that length through the spine, breathe in, the right foot will lengthen out. You can straighten it here, or you can just have it so there's a bit of bend through the knee and it's just parallel with the floor. Breathe in and breathing out, drawing that right knee back down. Breathe in, hug the right knee into the chest. Breathe out, straighten out the right leg. Breathe in, actually draw that right knee back into the chest. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in. Just one more round. Now just pause there with the right leg, just out in front of you. And now let the right foot just flap a little bit, hang under its own weight. Hands can come to the sides of the body now. Now just feel that sense of stretch as you breathe one full round of breath down into the belly. Straighten it out and lowering it down. Now, just to ease out of that, we're going to take the spine on a big circle now. You can use your hands here to support that movement, the range of a circle. Remember what direction you are circling in, so you'll know to go the opposite way after we do the other leg. And letting your breath flow freely into your circle. And then we're coming back into to do the left leg. So we're interlacing the hands around the back of the left thigh. And we're drawing that left knee up and into the chest. Now, if you remember, we were finding that space along the spine. So open up the rungs of the spine like a ladder. Opening up space between each of the vertebrae. Hold the frame. Breathe into your frame. And then breathing in, straighten out the left knee, left leg. Breathe out, draw it back into the core. Still keeping the height of the spine here, as much as you can. One more. And then pausing, left knee into the core, keep the height through the spine. Keep your breath strong here, because that will help to support this as we take the hands out to the sides of the mat. There's going to be a little bit of burn probably in that left thigh. One breath. Stretch out the left leg and float it down. Now, here's the hard bit. Remember what direction your spine had gone in, and now you're rotating it round the other way. Using your hands to give you a little bit of guidance and opening up the range of your circumference. And as you come around the back of the body, breathing in, and then with your out breath, as the body comes forward, you can just pause there, take the hands forward and arrive in a forward fold. Now, I always like to put a little bit of rock into my forward fold, but you can keep it stationary. But if you find it helps to release the backs of the legs a little bit, especially this early on a rather cold Monday morning, then do put a bit of sway from side to side into the body. And we're slowly going to walk the hands back up again. And we're arriving back and into sitting. Now, hands on the knees again. We're going to again take the shoulders around in the back, opening up the shoulder girdle. After a few rounds there, just letting the shoulders now rest, hands on the thighs, drop your chin into the throat. Feel the stretch along the back of the neck. Be careful with your neck as you take your chin up. Letting the weight of the head drop backwards as much as you feel comfortable. Letting the shoulders keep relaxing downwards so there's space between the shoulders and the ears. And chin coming back to your center line. So we're going to find our way now onto all fours. Keeping your hands spread wide, the fingers spread wide. Make sure there's a good hip width between your knees and the feet. There really is space for the lower spine. Now draw your belly up quite consciously to support the base of the spine. And holding that core support, we'll take a couple of breaths here. Deep down into the body. From here, as you start to breathe out, hinge your pelvis back towards your heels. Really reach back the pelvis as far as you can so you're opening up length along the spine. Looking forward, so you've still got a bit of lift through the spine rather than dropping the forehead down to the mat. Then keeping that length along the spine, we'll take it forward. So we're going to reach the spine through between the shoulders. You can go as far as you want there. Letting weight rest down into the hands. Belly to spine still. Breathe out. Pelvis comes back towards the heels. And now we're going to tuck under the toes as we do so. Really push the weight of the pelvis back into the heels. Breathe in, toes still tucked forward. You may need to walk your hands forward just a fraction. Give yourself space to drop the spine forward. Weight down into the hands. Now your toes are tucked under. This time we're going to draw the pelvis back and we're going to lift the knees just a fraction off the mat. Now do drop them down if you need to at any point. Long, deep, even breaths, balancing out in-breath with the out-breath. And then breathe out and start to hinge your way back into down dog. And taking a slow, steady walk, bending each knee in turn, and rooting back into the opposite leg. letting your walk match the rhythm of your breath, still looking to hold it in that ratio of 1:1. One more step, stationary step. And we'll start to now walk the feet up so they're coming towards the hands. And as you breathe out, let your spine fold, and we'll take the hands around the backs of the legs towards the heels. Your hands so can rest anywhere you like along the backs of the legs. But use that as a lever to draw the spine down towards the mat. Root down into your feet, start to breathe in and start to roll the spine up, stacking vertebrae one on top of the other, arms floating up above the head, breathing out, hands arriving back and into the heart. From the heart, start to circle your arms, moving with the breath to coordinate your movement into a ratio of balance within the breath. Breathing in, palms lifting, breathing out, hands coming back to the heart. Do one more. Now you've probably anchored yourself now into this really lovely steady rhythm of breath. So keep following that rhythm of breath as you take the arms in another circle. This time, following the rhythm of breath, we'll breathe out and fold down into forward fold. Keep following your breath to lift the left arm up into a twist. Keep following your breath and twisting the other side. We'll do one more round of twisting, both sides, moving your pace with your breath. Following that rhythm of breath back into your forward fold. Few deep breaths now here in the forward fold, still opening up that rhythm and ratio of 1:1 within the breath. And as you breathe in, you may find a little bit of lift, lengthening, stretching out through the backs of the legs. As you breathe out, a little bit of a movement into the deeper folding, so drawing the spine down, letting the weight of the head hang, folding more closely into the legs. So even in the stillness, it's not static at all. There is this sense of flow, of shifting weight, stretching out, opening up into the shape of the body.
Going to offer the spine forward, so breathing in, coming into an L shape. We'll just pause here, just for a breath, to keep connecting that sense of lift through the lower belly up towards the base of the spine. Do put a bit of bend into your knees if you find it a bit strong on the lower back. And breathing out, the hands will slide down, fingers spread wide, and we'll step back into down dog, following your out breath to get there. Breathe in, the knees will come down towards the mat. Breathing out, you'll take your pelvis back towards the heels. From here, follow the in-breath through into cobra, but breathing out, we find our way back to the floor. In-breath, cobra, out-breath, arriving back down. Fingers coming a little bit wider than the mat now. And we'll take another in-breath, lifting into another cobra. Breathing out, coming back down. Hands back underneath the shoulders. From the next cobra, we breathe out and we find our way back into down dog. Another in-breath, root down into your left foot. Breathe in and start to stretch your right leg up above the head. Three-legged down dog. Breathe out, your right leg will come back down and onto the left leg. Breathe in, right leg float, left leg floats up, three-leg down dog. Keeping your chest facing towards the mat as much as you can rather than twisting it out to the side. One more in-breath. And into your out-breath, the left leg will float down. Now walking, stepping, jumping even, the feet up towards the hands. Breathe in, look forwards. And breathing out, you're going to find your way back into forward fold at the top of that. Root down as you start to lift. Big in-breath, we'll see the arms floating up. And breathing out. Arriving back and into the heart. Let your eyes shut as you arrive in the heart, hands at the stone. Just guiding your attention back into the belly. You feel all little shifts of balance with the eyes shut. Feeling your attention drop down into the body. Looks like you're then connecting your attention to your center of gravity in the core. If you count your next in-breath and count that into the out-breath. And slowly guide your breath into balance, ratio of 1 to 1. And again, holding that steady rhythm. We're going to come into another round now. No haste, you're just following your own breath there. In breath, arms will float up. And out breath, finding your way into the forward fold. Once there, we're going to just take a breath or so to arrive if you'd like to. Find your way into a twist. Left hand will float up. Do 2 rounds here, both sides. To the right side, right arm floating up. Leveling out the breath. Giving that light touch of the belly, drawing up to the base of the spine. We'll offer the spine forward now, lengthening out through the spine. Just a breath or so here to again connect belly to the base of the spine. Then, from your in-breath, root your hands down and find your way back into down dog. Now you can either drop the knees down as we did before, or you may want to roll the spine forward into a plank. Breathing here for a breath. Breathing out, lowering down to the left. So take your pick to find your way down onto the belly. In breath into cobra. Out breath, folding back down. We'll take the hands that little bit wider for the next cobra, doing a couple. But first we're going to lift up, look over the left shoulder. Breathing out, so you'll find your way down. Then onto the right side. Hands back underneath the shoulders again. Breathe into cobra. And from there, toes tucking under, knees lifting, root back and find your way into down dog. A couple of breaths here in down dog. Re-establish the rhythm of your breath. And then with the next in breath, into 3-leg down dog, right leg lifting up. And breathing out, we'll take the right knee up into the core. And you're looking down towards the right knee with the face. Now breathe in, stretch out the right knee again. This time we're going to swing the right leg between the hands, keeping your left hand pressed down to the side of the right foot in your high runner's lunge. Breathe in, right arm will lift up into a twist. Floating down your right hand now, plant it so you're framing the front foot and flip your back foot down. Breathe in, front knee will bend, left arm will circle back around behind you, and you're into warrior 2. Keep that steady rhythm of breath, keep the balance through the breath. Coming into triangle from here, we cut the front arm, we reach back and over with the right arm, left hand connecting to the left leg. Anchor down both feet and feel stable in your foundations. Belly to spine.
Now start to reach out for your horizon with your right arm. Straighten out the right leg. Keep reaching to the horizon. And from here into Trikonasana, right hand to the calf or down to the floor. And left arm will float up. Keep anchoring down into your feet, belly to spine. And then left arm will windmill down. Frame your front foot again with the hands. Rotate the back foot and we'll step back and into down dog. Left leg now lifting. Breathe in, stretch it up into three-leg dog. Breathe out and draw the left knee back into the core, looking down at the knee. Breathe in, stretch it back up. And breathing out, the left leg will come between the hands. Now you're into the high runner's lunge on this side, so let the pelvis drop back a little bit. Right hand staying on the mat, and the left arm will float up, taking you into a high twist. Start to drop the left hand back down again. With the left hand down, framing the foot, you can flip your back foot down and then start to windmill your way up. Right arm coming behind you, left arm reaching forward, and you're into warrior two on this side. Holding that same balance in your breath, same connection with the core by drawing the belly towards the spine. Letting your weight of the body sink down through the legs and into the feet. Into reverse warrior, front palm turns up, reaching up and back with the left hand into your reverse warrior. And then starting to hinge forward, reach out for your horizon with the left hand as much as you can. Keep reaching out all the way down. Left hand to the floor or to the left leg. Right hand floats up into triangle. Remember to straighten up through that left knee. Right hand floating down. So you're framing your front foot now with both hands, and from here you can step back the left leg and you're back into down dog. From here we're going to take vinyasa, so either into plank or else the knees coming down. If your knees are down, you'll come back to the heels. Else you'll lower your way down to the mat in your plank. And we're all alive into cobra. Breathing in, breathing out, coming back to the floor. We'll just come into another straightforward cobra, breathing in. Then breathing out, driving back to down dog. And we're going to flow through that sequence, holding the breath in the balance of 1 to 1 on both sides. So you may want to take 1 or 2 breaths in each part, or you may want to just move through.
seeing if you can keep that integrity of the balance of the breath. So we breathe in, we'll lift up the right leg up into the sky. On an out breath, the knee will come towards the chest. On an in breath, you'll come back into your three-legged dog. From here, breathe out, hand, right foot between the hands. Left hand down, breathe in into your twist. Breathe out, right hand will come down, and we'll flip the back foot down. So breathe in, start to lift your way up into your warrior two. On an in breath into reverse warrior. And then breathing your way out and down into triangle. From triangle, frame your front foot, hands come down, and we'll step back and into down dog. And from down dog, coming onto the left side, breathing in, the left leg will float up. Breathe out, the left knee will come to the core. Breathe in, the left leg will float up. Breathing out, left foot between the hands. Left hand stays down, right arm lifts into the high twist. Sorry, I think I did that wrong. We'll take the right hand down, left arm will lift up to take you into the high twist. The right hand down, left arm up. Both hands will come down, flip the back foot. And then breathe in and find your way into warrior two. Breathe in to find your way into reverse warrior. Left hand lifts up, right hand down. Breathing out, stretch to the horizon to lower down into Trikonasana. Remember to lift up through your front leg here, straightening out, breathing in. And breathe out, right hand will come down, and you'll step back and into down dog again. A little bit of bend through the knees in the down dog. And just put a little bit of bounce into the balls of the feet. Now breathe in, take your right knee now behind the right hand, and we'll let the right leg cross over the shin. So we're going to come into a pigeon. Now cushion's always really, really helpful here to put a bit of support behind underneath the pelvis if you'd like. See how it feels to slide that left leg back. If there's any pain on the knee, you can come into a seated forward fold and into a twist there instead. Coming into a high pigeon, a couple of breaths here. And then breathing out, taking the right leg back, and we're going to come back and into down dog. Give yourself a couple of breaths here in down dog. And we'll put the same bounce back into the knees for a couple of moments. Breathing in, the left knee now will come up towards the left hand. And the leg will cross over towards the right hand side.
Now, the more of the right angle you create with that left leg, the more acute it's going to be on the hip. You can bend the left foot towards the pelvis here. Coming into a high pigeon again. So stretching out through the right leg. And keeping a lift up through the chest for a couple of rounds of breath. So you can anchor your weight down into the pelvis. Move down into your hands and slide that left leg back to join the right. So you're onto all fours now. Now we're going to follow the breath into cat and cow now. And so you're going to find your own rhythm. And guiding your breath into the 1-to-1 ratio. And arching to ceiling as you breathe out within that. And sit bones tilting up so the spine lengthens between shoulders as you breathe in. And breathe your way up and into down dog again now. And rooting down into your left leg, we're going to come into pigeon again. So right knee will come behind the right hand. Foot crosses over to the left hand side. And you're slowly easing that left leg back. Now this time you can stay in the high pigeon, but you may prefer to breathe in, create that space along the spine, and then breathing out, folding the spine forwards, and you can come into a lower pigeon. You could rest on your forearms here, else you might want to come a little bit lower forward to the mat. As we take a few breaths in here, just scanning through your body, make sure there's no holding. We often have holding patterns in our shoulders, in the thighs, the glutes maybe. So seeing if you can relax everything to let it relax towards the mat. Feel low down and start to walk the hands back up again. Now from your pigeon your lifted pigeon, we're now going to swing this left leg around to the front of the mat. And we're then going to cross it over the right leg. So now we're in the base forward twist, hugging in the left knee with the right arm, left hand coming out behind us. Create the space along the spinal column. Then you're easing into twist over to the left. You may take your gaze over the left shoulder. Same long, deep breaths. Bringing the left hand back round, we'll slide the left leg out behind us again. We're taking it back the same direction, and from there you can lift up and back into down dog. And once there, you may just want to pedal out a little bit from side to side. Onto the left side, left knee is going to come behind the left hand, and the foot will cross over to the right hand side. Sliding the right leg back, either staying in the hind pigeon, and do put as many props as you need to underneath pelvis, hips, or else breathing out, starting to lower forwards, rest on the forearms here, or else taking the forehead down. And again, although there will be maybe strong sensation, we're seeing if we can relax into that. So basically not tightening anything that doesn't need to be tightened there. Starting to lift up on the next breath or so. And from here, in your pigeon, we're now going to swing the right leg around. Swings out to the front, and then it crosses over the left knee. So coming into the base for the twist, the other side, we hug the right knee in with the left hand. Right hand comes out behind us, and lifting up into the spine, twisting to the right. And coming back round again to the center line. This time, we're going to uncross the legs and we're going to slide them out in front of the body. Breathe in. The arms will lift up above the head. Create that length along the spine. Balance your breath. And folding forward on an out breath into forward fold. Hands to the legs, feet. Letting the weight of the head drop between the shoulders. Find your way up and into sitting. And from sitting, hands to the sides of the body. We'll bend the knees and roll down onto the spine. And planting your feet a hips width apart from one another, the knees are bent to the ceiling. We breathe in and slowly lift the pelvis. The arms will float over the head, stretching out behind you. And we're coming into a bridge. Chin will lift away from the throat. We'll take a few breaths here. Really breathing in along the front of the body.
Then finding your out breath and lowering the pelvis down. With pelvis down, take your knees into the chest. And knees in the chest. Letting them circle in one direction. And then the other way. Planting the feet back down again, arms relaxing either sides of the body. You may want to reach and get your socks or blankets to arrive in Shavasana. But we'll all find our way onto the mat, lying down, legs stretched out. Arms either sides of the body, palms to the ceiling. And we're taking a few moments of rest. By letting go of any control over the breath. And so your body is finding its own rhythm of breath now. But we'll still keep our gaze, our inner gaze, watching the breath. Our attention flowing with the breath. Just noting how the breath touches the core of the body. How the body responds to the breath in the core. That's something that happens quite organically, without any effort. And stepping back from any control over the breath. And observing your body as it is. Feeling your body as it is. Being present to the body as it is. From here, bringing a little movement into the body. And noting sounds around you, the room around you. When you're ready to move, bend your knees, find your way onto one side of the body. And then back up into sitting. We'll all arrive in a comfortable seat, palms on the lap. Eyes can shut here. You're keeping a soft gaze, keeping them open. Now we'll separate the palms so they're just facing by the sides of each other.
Breathing in, letting the palms float to the heart. Then breathing out, your energy settling as the palms float down. You can do that a couple more times. Then this time the palms will float to the heart and into prayer. Feeling the touch of your breath now. And here, into the softness of the breath, bowing the head and closing practice. Thank you.